Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we've been talking a lot about the Lakers. It's very easy to talk about the Lakers when either a trade has been made or the team's really struggling. That's when I find it's easy to make content. And that is exactly what's going on right now. The team is really struggling. We've lost 6 of our last 8 or something of that nature. We've been getting blown out by double-digit points in most of the losses. And the only teams that we've really beaten this year are bad teams, with the exception of the first 3 games we had at the start of the season. We really haven't beaten any good teams, man. And that continues to stretch forward into today because, of course, we lost to the Atlanta Hawks last night in overtime, who is the hottest team in the league. So, yet again, you could just add that to the list of good teams you can't beat. And, of course, you play a bad team tomorrow in Portland. So yippee for that. And I do expect to win. But, am I supposed to be excited regardless how the outcome goes for tomorrow, with as bad as we've looked against good teams consistently, as bad as we've looked on the road consistently this year? You know, this is our second real road trip, and we were bad in this road trip and bad in the first one. I think this team went 1-4 or something, in the first road trip, something like that, and 1-3 in this last road trip. At some point in time, we got to look at the team and say, can you have real problems winning on the road, and you have real problems beating good teams? You don't have problems beating tanking teams, but who does? I don't know, man. I think the Los Angeles Lakers are starting to slowly but surely turn into what I thought they would turn into, which is not a good Western Conference team. They're a good start, but it's translating to us being 500. We're one game above 500 right now. On the pace we're on right now, we'll be below 500 soon. On this pace. Luckily enough, the schedule gets soft a little bit. But you got the Sacramento Kings 3 times at the end of the year. A team that we've had trouble beating for the last 3 years. You can almost guarantee those 2 or 3 of those are going to be a loss. You can almost guarantee that. So it's like, you got the Detroit Pistons, who we don't match up well against. We lost to already this year. Am I certain we're going to win that game? I ain't certain. Got the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day, even though they're struggling to high hell. Are you certain you beating them? I ain't certain. They always play us strong. We had one of our most memorable games against the Golden State Warriors last year. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't particularly like how this is looking for us, even though the schedule is supposed to be softening up. You still got some real demons to overcome, and quite honestly, you're the soft part of someone else's schedule. That's the way it's starting to look. You're the get-right team. You're the team that the tanking team can potentially beat if they just decide to go all in. I don't know, man. I just want the Los Angeles Lakers to really consider what it is I'm saying right now. And through 25 games or so, you haven't beaten a really good team yet. But you've seen some of them. And in some of those games, you were not even very competitive. Some of the top echelon matchups, like the OKC Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers, you didn't show up. Minnesota Timberwolves got blown out. Under 500 basketball team as of right now, from what I understand. I think they are. Atlanta Hawks, blown out. Actually, no, not blown out. It was the Miami Heat, blown out. Miami. Not very competitive. And then when you do decide to turn it on and be competitive, you still losing in overtime. Mental lapses, not because the other team is just kicking your butt, not necessarily. Nah, just because you can't close. Orlando Magic can't close. You know what I mean? You're losing all kinds of different ways. So that's really a thing, man. I'm not calling out J.J. Redick because I understand that J.J. Redick is only 25 games into his entire coaching career. He's only coached children before this season. What do I expect? What do I expect? I think he has a lot of upside as a coach. But am I surprised that he's making some bad mistakes, not communicating and stuff like that with the players on the court? His defensive principles, he's getting smoked by NBA defense? No, I'm not surprised by any of this. No. I think he's a smart enough individual to figure himself out, but for the time being, he's getting his butt kicked. That's what I expect. The rookie coach. So, some of these decisions didn't look that great on paper, to be honest with you. Like bringing in a rookie coach for a win-now situation with Darvin Ham looked terrible on paper. He overachieved, all things considered. Got to the Western Conference Finals. That's way better than we expected. Do we expect J.J. Redick, the rookie coach, is going to come in and do better? Of course not. It's rookie for a reason. Rookie means never done it before. First time. And this is the highest level of basketball in the world. So, that he gets run circles around or that his defense is awful, I mean, that's kind of what you're signing up for, is it not? With a rookie coach who's never as much as coached even a high school team? I'm expecting that of him. And, I was listening to Awful Coaching, one of my favorite channels to watch. And he was pointing out some of the mistakes that JJ's defense was making, and he thought that JJ should have been calling out certain things from the sidelines, communicating with the players, switching mistakes that were made. It's not just that we're switching, it's the angles that we're taking when we switch are just severely flawed. I'm not the coach guy as it pertains to, I know of all the assistant coaches and all this, that, and the third. But I think if I'm looking at things from the outside looking in, he really does need a defensive coordinator down there. And listening to people who are quote unquote coach people, they really didn't give a high grade to our assistant staff. Do I want to blame my assistant staff? I mean, based on my knowledge, I don't think I'm qualified to do that. But based on what I'm seeing, he really does need some help that he's not getting right now. He needs a defensive coordinator. J.J. Redick was not a defensive player. And when we talk about the Mind the Game podcast, I didn't hear them communicating about anything defensive very much. It was all about offensive schemes. So that we don't have a defensive coordinator, or that defensive coordinator can't get this team to function properly, however that's set up, that may be part of the big problem here. So, I get frustrated to an extent because I look at a player like Anthony Davis. He's supposed to be one of the most intelligent basketball defensive players to ever play the game. Does that not translate to schemes? Call me ignorant, but I don't know why a player who's great on the defensive end can't be the defensive coordinator. Why the hell do I need to hire a defensive coach when I got you? Does it not equate? Does that not work that way? Maybe I just don't know no better. But it seems to me that this should work that way. He should be able to call out what defensive schemes and call the defensive plays and quarterback the defense out there. You want defensive player of the year? That's going to be required. So I don't know. I'm at a point where it's like, if you want me to blame one person or blame a couple people, I don't think that's how this actually equates. I think it's a lot of people not doing enough. It's a lot of people counting on other people's mistakes that are likely to be made to give them the excuse for not doing enough where they could otherwise do more. Oh, he's a rookie coach, so we're just going to suck on the defensive end. No, he's a rookie coach. You want to win, get out there and help him. You LeBron James. Call people out on what they need to do. Orchestrate the defense. You know defense as well as anybody. We shouldn't be having issues switching. People is genius like they say they are. How come we have some of the problems we have? How come a coach online can point out so many different issues if God's supposed to be so damn smart? You know what I mean? Like literally. It's to a point where it's like, yo, that's a real thing. As I'm listening to this man break down all these play mistakes, I'm like, yo, I'm not a basketball mind. I don't know. I need somebody like him to tell me what's going on. They don't pay me millions of dollars to play ball. I'm just a fan. I've looked at this game for 30 years through fans' eyes, and I never make anybody think otherwise about me. So it's like, so you trying to tell me they're supposed to be moving this away and he's moving that away? On this level? They're making all these different little mistakes. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Are we supposed to have some of the smartest minds in the world, and this is what we're doing? Seems to me the people aren't really putting their head in the game. Seems to me the people are using other people's ineptitude as a means of giving themselves passes for doing more, as I've already said in a different way. And that's unacceptable, man. Help JJ out. I'm not going to want to fire my rookie coach after 25 games because he ain't showing me that he's Phil Jackson or some stupid stuff. People need to help this man out. Clearly, he's stressing himself out. Like, that's clear. You can see him in the presser and see that this is not good for him mentally. And I think about Ty Lue when he was having some of his health scares in Cleveland, trying to coach the LeBron James-led team. Man almost died up there in Cleveland under that stress. Literally, his health was serious. And so it's like, man, this pressure, trying to coach LeBron James to a championship with a bunch of garbage being forced to do it with him, this is not something that's easy for anybody, man. You can see that every coach he's ever had has crumbled under that damn pressure. At some point in time, we got to start loosening that up as an organization. You know what I'm saying? For y'all give JJ a heart attack out this mug, seriously. The pressure is immense, and it shouldn't even be, because you know you don't got enough to win. So why the pressure so tight? Why the expectations so high when everybody who's truly paying attention to this knows damn well the expectations should not be that high? We ain't gonna win. So it's like, you know, at some point in time, I just want to see people get their head into the game, man. Call themselves mind the game, get your head in the game. Fix these problems. Genie Bus, this is on you at the top. Everything trickle down from you and your intentions. People work for you, stick around too long for you, all these different things. Around here for the wrong reasons. You got to get your act together, Mr. Bus. That's the truth. And there's no reason for fans to call out everybody but not call out ownership. There's no reason for me to be looking at GMs and coaches and players and all that, and I'm not looking at Genie. Let's tighten up. Seriously. So that's pretty much my thought on things. About to go inside, listen to all the stuff that I've made today. And if something else comes up, we'll talk about it. But I'm calling people out, man. I'm calling people out. Video 44, I thank you all for watching.